My name is Sarah. I'm a mother, a wife, and a woman who has carried her share of joy, loss, and regret. But nothing in my life could have prepared me for what happened with Henry, my stepson, when I married his father. I expected the usual challenges that come with blending families, awkward dinners, uneven temperaments, the slow process of learning where boundaries began and ended. But Henry wasn't difficult. He was gentle, thoughtful, and deeply observant, sometimes too observant. Over time, I began to see the quiet sorrow he carried beneath his calm surface. He'd lost more than anyone his age should have, yet he rarely spoke about it. Lately, though, something in him had shifted. His silence has felt heavier. His eyes lingered longer, filled not with confusion, but with questions he couldn't seem to ask. I thought it was distance, the kind that grief leaves behind when it lingers too long. I was wrong. It was something darker. One evening, while his father was out of town, Henry and I were alone in the house. The night felt unnaturally still, the air thick with things neither of us could name. I was reading, and he sat on the couch, restless, flipping through channels that faded into static. Then he spoke my name softly, almost trembling. "Sarah," he said. "I need to tell you something. I just don't know how." The sound of his voice made my heart freeze. I set the book down, my fingers cold. He hesitated, searching for the right words. "You've always been there for me," he continued. "And I haven't been honest about something," he said quietly. "It's about that night, the accident." My pulse quickened. For months, we'd avoided that word, stepping around it like glass, as if saying it aloud would bring back everything we'd been trying to forget. He looked up at me then, eyes shimmering with tears he refused to let fall. "It wasn't just an accident," he whispered. "I should have told you before, but I was scared. I didn't mean for it to happen." The air seemed to vanish. My chest tightened until I could hear nothing but the heavy thurring of my own heart. The memories came rushing back. The phone call, the sirens, the way his father's voice had broken that night. "What are you saying, Henry?" I managed to whisper. His words came in fragments. "It was my fault, Sarah." The brakes, I'd been fixing them. I thought I'd repaired them, but I didn't. I killed him. The world around me blurred, my mind refusing to believe it. And yet, somewhere deep inside, something fell into place. The guilt I'd seen in his eyes, the sleepless nights, the way he avoided his father's old study, it all suddenly made sense. I wanted to scream, to tell him he was wrong, to erase the words hanging in the air, but I couldn't. The truth had already filled the room, heavy and suffocating, impossible to take back. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The silence was thick enough to drown in. Finally, I said softly, "You didn't mean to, Henry. You were trying to help. You were trying to help." He shook his head, tears spilling freely now. "Non so fiti." That doesn't change what I did. Since that night, everything between us has been different. We pretend life is normal. Share meals, exchange small talk, laugh at things that don't matter. But the air between us never feels still. There's always a shadow, a secret too heavy to name. Some truths are prisons, and once spoken, they never let you go. No matter how hard I try to bury it, I see it in his eyes every single day. The quiet plea for forgiveness I can't give, and the guilt I can't escape. There are lines that once crossed can never be undone. And sometimes the hardest part of love isn't holding on. It's learning to live with what remains when forgiveness is no longer possible.